Hi guys, I am back once again with my WrestleMania 28 review, and yes, I have no hair, so I've lost my power, and it's going to be very hard for me to articulate what I want to say, because, I don't have hair anymore, and lost my power. But let's start going through the matches, shall we? First match up, we had Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. In any other situation, I would have rated this match a not applicable, but I really wanted to see this match. It was one of the matches I really wanted to see on this card. I wanted to see them at least wrestle for 10 minutes. I was sure it was going to be the opening match, but I really wanted to see this particular match. Of course, what we got was 15 seconds. We didn't really get a match. If this was a Divas match, I probably would have said not applicable, because who cares? But I'm going to rate it a dud because, that really disappointed me, a lot. So, people are paying their money for this thing, and it's like what would have been one of the better matches. So, I reserve the right to be disappointed and give it a dud. Next match we had, which probably I wouldn't have minded going for 15 seconds, but, it didn't, was Kane versus Randy Orton. I'm not a fan of either of these two for obvious reasons. Kane is old and slow and boring in the ring. Randy Orton is young and slow and boring in the ring and never wears pants. And the match itself was something I could have seen on any miscellaneous WWE show, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, fucking Velocity, Heat, Shotgun Saturday Night, anything. Of course, we had it at WrestleMania, so yeah, I was happy with the outcome because Kane won. And I dislike Kane less than I dislike Randy Orton, but realistically, it was just a match, which, 1 3/4 stars. Good work, guys. Next match was Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental Championship. This match was probably, I consider this match, significantly better considering the amount of time it had compared to the previous match. It was just a lot more fun to watch. Big Show is bigger and slower than Kane, but I don't know. He's just not as uninspiring as Kane. And Cody Rhodes, I've just really been enjoying the work of lately. I enjoyed the build for this match. Kane versus Randy Orton, I could not figure what the fuck. I couldn't remember what the build for it was. Big Show and Cody Rhodes, I thought that was at least amusing. The match itself was really nothing special, but at least it wasn't anything that actively bored me. I'd probably give it 2 stars, with the highlight of it being Big Show crying because he won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Good work. Next match was the annual Divas match, which doesn't matter. Kelly versus Maria Menounos. I think that's how you pronounce it. Versus Beth Phoenix and Eve. Maria Menounos got in the ring, got beaten down. Kelly saved her, etc. There was a roll-up at the end. Kelly did a flip at some point in the match. I think it was on Beth Phoenix, and I thought that was pretty cool. Rey Mysterio used to do one like that. Half a star. I really do wish that the WWE would, at some point in the future, maybe next WrestleMania, take 2 divas who know how to wrestle, put them in the ring together, give them 10 minutes, and give us a divas match that might actually add to the card for once, as opposed to just being shit on the card. Waste of time, really. Nothing special. Why would it be? Next match we had was something I thought was special, and that was Undertaker versus Triple H. This had a pretty good build. I was looking forward to it. Hell in a Cell match. Shawn Michaels, special guest referee. How could you not look forward to that? Last year, I really liked the Triple H versus Undertaker match, and I got some criticism from people saying, "Oh, it's just 2 guys laying around for ages, selling." And at early points in this match, it seemed like it was going to turn out the same way. It was just going to be Undertaker and Triple H just kind of laying around and not doing much. But it didn't really end that way. Like, you had that, but it was all a part of the story. It was all, this match kind of took, themes and elements from the last year's match and continued forward with it. The early story in the match was Triple H could beat Undertaker and, had beaten Undertaker down, and Shawn Michaels should end the match before he seriously hurt him, and he was about to cave his skull in with a sledgehammer, and Shawn's like, no, man, don't do that. And of course, then, Shawn was about to end the match because Undertaker wasn't really responding, and then Undertaker just got Shawn Michaels in the Gogoplata, or sorry, Hell's Gate, whatever. And the match continued and continued and continued, but was always entertaining. At no point did I go, oh, fuck, this is boring. It was, I always thought it was quite good. Was it as good as I thought it could be? No, but, with Undertaker's age. And another thing, Undertaker's mohawk, I fucking love it. I think it's a really good look for him. It makes him look 10 years younger. I really dig that look for the Undertaker. I hope he if he continues wrestling, he continues to use it, because I really enjoyed it. I'd give the match 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it. I thought the all of Undertaker's matches are getting really sentimental now at the end of the match, but I think he can get away with it. It gives the matches, it makes them seem really important, and they are. They've done a really good job of making them important, and that's really hard these days. So 4.5 stars for that. Next match we had, a bit of filler. Team Johnny versus Team Teddy Long. There's not really much to say about this match. It was pretty much what you expect from a 12-man tag match. Bunch of guys jumping on each other, doing their spots. I was surprised by the amount of time Booker T spent in the ring. And it wasn't like him doing, being good. He's good, but it was just him taking a beating for a really long time, then got the hot tag to Santino. Okay. Santino, I'm not really digging on the whole, US title win and all that kind of stuff, and team captain with Team Teddy, and but the match itself was pretty good filler. The crowd didn't really care, but it was following Triple H versus The Undertaker, so what could you really do to get the crowd to care about that match? They did what they could and just kind of provided some good filler. The ending was with Zack Ryder getting kicked in the nuts. Well, he was going to do his finisher to someone else. Eve got in the ring, went to do it with him, and then the ref got in the way, and he's like, no, ref, don't take her out of the ring, she's not going to interfere. And then they lost the match because of that, and then Eve kicked Zack Ryder in the nuts because she's a two-faced bitch. That's her gimmick, I guess. But 3 stars for that match. It was fun. Next match I was really looking forward to, and it was CM Punk versus Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship. Let me just say, coming after Undertaker versus Triple H and before John Cena versus The Rock, even though there was a match between Undertaker and Triple H and this one, it was going to be really hard for them to kind of get the crowd interested, because it didn't really have the kind of build that The Rock and John Cena had, or Undertaker versus Triple H had. So it's always going to be really hard to kind of get fans interested. If these two wrestlers were two wrestlers of a lower caliber, say, a Randy Orton, and, you had Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, or Randy Orton versus, Jack Swagger, or Randy Orton versus The Miz, they wouldn't have been able to get away with this, what they got away with. And that was having a match of a decent length that, at the start of it you have, the crowd was dead for it. They kind of reacted to the wrestlers coming out, but they were still a bit dead. But as the match went on, they became more excited. We've seen in previous WrestleManias where you have a match similar to this, where it's not quite the most, it's the WWE title match, but it's not the most important, or it's not the match that everyone wants to see, and it's stuck in between two matches that people are really excited to see, and of course the crowd just kind of sits on their hands for it the whole way through. And not just with WrestleMania, but other pay-per-views as well. But they were actually able to draw the fans in, get them interested, get them making some noise, which I really, really thought was quite good. And because the match itself was quite good, I really liked the submission wrestling they had in it, with Chris Jericho using the walls of Jericho, and then CM Punk using the Anaconda Vice, and then taking the knees to the back of the head so he had to let it out, then doing it again later in the match. Jericho goes for the knees, CM Punk props himself up a bit further, Jericho can't hit the knees, CM Punk wins. I'll give the match 3 3/4. I still did. I think it could have been better, but overall not too bad. And then we had the final match of the night, which was a really odd one. I find it really hard to rate these kinds of matches, and it was The Rock versus John Cena, obviously. On the one hand, the crowd was really hot, but I always felt that was more to do with the actual build to the match than the actual match itself. The match itself, I didn't think was really all that hot. I didn't find it really all that interesting or captivating. I didn't expect the greatest amount of work rate, but for whatever reason, a lot of what was going on really wasn't interesting to me. I don't think it was a bad match. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was quite as good as what I was expecting. Maybe that's my mistake, but the outcome was the most surprising thing of the match. But for the most part, it was kind of like The Rock versus Hogan from WrestleMania 18, so a decade ago. Hot crowd, but the work itself really wasn't all that amazing. But in this particular case, I really wasn't as invested into the match. I don't know if it's because I'm older or what have you. I still enjoyed it. The Rock won, if you didn't know. Which was actually quite shocking for me. I was like, okay, well, I guess he's staying around a bit longer then. I'd probably give the match 3.5 stars. My overall rating for the show, the first 4 matches were really quite disappointing, to varying degrees. A lot of the matches really didn't get to the level I felt they should have, especially John Cena versus The Rock. Once again, I don't think it was a bad match, but I don't think it was as good as it could have been. And Punk versus Jericho, stuck in a bad spot, they made the most of it, but still, better placement on the card maybe would have made it a better match. But yeah, I would probably give the show 7 out of 10, which isn't bad, but it isn't good. It's kind of just an average WrestleMania rating. So, yeah, that's that. Hope you guys enjoy the review. Leave your thoughts below. See you later.